Hey, Tyler here. Today we're going to check a scene from one of my favorite TV shows, and we're going to break things down so I can help you get your English to the next level. So let's do it. Let's watch the scene first.
I don't know why I thought getting this out would help.
What is that?
Nana had these little statues of herself made. They were her Christmas gift to each of us.
Now I feel better about my stupid well in Africa.
Hey, hitting that candy pretty hard. You didn't even take the wrapper off the last one.
I'm sad. Shut up.
I heard that if you die on Halloween, you come back as a zombie. I can see that. Nana be all, brains. Nope, brains.
I just remember Nana, when we were little, she would... Oh my God, what is wrong with you two?
What?
Our grandmother just died. Luke's over here making tasteless jokes and you're stuffing your face.
I don't know why I thought getting this out would help.
The first thing I want you to notice here is how the D sound in I don't know is not a real D sound as in day or done. I mean, you can pronounce it with the real D sound, but since D here comes between two vowel sounds, I and O, we pronounce it as a flap T. A flap T is that sound we hear in butter or water.
What is that?
The same thing happens here since T is between two vowels again. In this situation, A and I. Remember that you usually have more options to say the same thing. It usually depends on your intonation or emotion in the moment. For example, you can say here, what is that? Or say, what is that? It definitely changes the meaning. And if you don't trust me, next time your partner asks you something, try this. One time answer like this. What? I'm sure they'll just repeat what they said. But then try to say, what?
Nana had these little statues of herself made.
Well, I see a lot of people struggling to pronounce these two words here. I think the best way for you to think about this is imagine these is spelled like these, T-H-E-E-Z. And this like T-H, maybe no vowel S. I know a lot of books just say that one vowel is longer and the other is shorter, but I don't want you to think of them as longer and shorter since length can change depending on how much we're emphasizing a word or emotion or something else. So think of these two sounds as two different sounds, not the same sound with different length. Another thing I want you to pay attention here is the word statue. Did you notice that we have two different T sounds in this word? The first T sounds like a regular T as in Tom or tell, but the second one sounds more like a CH sound as in Chuck or chop. So if we were to spell this word the way that we pronounce it, it would be like this, statue. You're going to notice that a lot of times when we have T and U in a syllable that's not emphasized, T will have this CH sound, such as departure, nature, or future. One last thing I want you to notice in this sentence is when we put of and her, him, his, himself, herself, when connected with other words that ends in a consonant sound, can be pronounced with or without the H sound. So here we could say of herself or of herself. Remember that of and of are pronounced differently. Of sounds like of, UV, and off like A, H, F. So if you're connecting of with herself, and eliminating the H sound, remember to connect with the V sound of herself.
They were her Christmas gift to each of us.
The first thing I want to mention here is the word gift. Usually if we're using this word in the singular form, then we pronounce the T, but if we're using this in the plural form of this word, then we usually don't pronounce the T. We usually pronounce it as gifts. Let me show you some examples.
That's why it's not about me or my talents or gifts.
The many gifts my mother gave me was the
and receive the gifts of others.
8 gifts that art has is this.
Also, we have two very interesting things on linking words here. The first one is, notice that when we connect gift and to, we don't say gift to. We actually eliminate one T sound. This happens when we have two words that we're linking and one ends with the same consonant sound that the next word begins. So instead of pronouncing the same sound twice, we eliminate the first repetitive sound. So it ends up sounding like gift. Now notice how we connect each of us. Each of us. We don't say each word separately like each of us. What we do is we bring the last sound of each word to the next word. So imagine we're saying like this, each of us, each of us.
Hey, hitting that candy pretty hard.
When she says her sister's hitting that candy pretty hard, she's saying that she's eating a lot of candy very quickly. She could have also said, going crazy on that candy, huh? Another thing I want to point out here is the T sound in hitting and pretty. Notice that we don't pronounce as hitting or pretty. We actually use that flap T or fast D sound I mentioned before. And if you notice, both T's are between vowel sounds. That's why we pronounce them as a flap T or fast D.
You didn't even take the wrapper off the last one.
I want you to focus here on the word didn't. Notice how we don't pronounce both D sounds with the hard D sound as in day. We pronounce the first D sound with the regular D, and the second D, because it's followed by an N sound, we pronounce it as a glottal sound, didn't. To make this sound, all you have to do is place the tip of your tongue behind your upper teeth and pronounce the N sound like this. Didn't.
I'm sad, shut up.
Notice how most of the time I'm sounds like For example, I'm here. Also in sad, we don't really release the D sound. Because if you do, it doesn't sound as natural as if you hold it, like said. So when we have T or D in the end of a word, we usually hold that sound. So we say, I'm sad. We don't release that D sound the same way we do when we have a vowel right after the T or D sound. Also notice how in shut up, we have that flap T we talked about, since T is between two vowels. And that's how we connect these two words. Same thing when we say get in or get up. I know I have mentioned this before, but there's a reason I'm mentioning some things more than once. Some of these concepts are new to you since you don't have it in your language, and the brain needs to keep seeing the same patterns over and over again so it can actually adapt to like this new reality. So yes, I will mention the same thing a few times, but there's a reason for it. Well, I'm gonna stop here since I think there's already a lot to process. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to help you. Let me know if you have any questions, and remember that I use your questions here to create new videos. So don't be shy and go crazy in the comments. Thank you, and I'll see you.
Oh, I'm slipping away, so don't